Leadership is two ways. I know folks, we always want to blame leaders for the many problems that we have in Nigeria and Edo State in particular. But I always am wary of pointing fingers to the other people and not to myself. So when I wake up in the morning, I look at the mirror and I see that the many problems that lay ahead before me or in front of me are mostly of my own makings. That's why I say leadership and those who are led have a social contract, whether actual social contract that is signed or imaginary one. What is society if not imaginary? We reflect our leaders and our leaders reflect us. It is fact. I know circumstances does lead to situations, to present the situations that we have, and then we start to look for answers to the many problems. But whether we like it or not, leaders does reflect his people, the people reflect their leaders. I've heard so many commentators say the problem of Nigeria, the problem of Edo State, the problem of any particular state in the country is leadership. Well, once we have a correct leader, we'll be able to go well and far. I'm of the school of thought that no, I'm a realist. It's not about leaders. Because the people who so crave for one person to lead them always, they're like babies who crave baby milk always looking for that one person outside of them to lead them. That's the people who are not ready. It's like the Messiah factor, looking for the Jesus Christ to save you when you have all it is you need in you from the within to save yourself. Now, the reason I say this is this. No one person will come and rescue us. I'm a family man with 3 children. It takes the grace of God and it takes skills and resilience and patience to manage that unit. Then imagine you managing your local community. Then after that, the state, after that, the nation. It ain't an easy thing. It's why you have people to lead with you. You have your SAs, your SSAs, you have your commissioners at the state level. You have your DGs, you have your deputy governor if you were the governor. You have your vice chairman if you were the local government chairman. You have councillors and you have duty councillors and supervising councillors. Because you have to delegate duties in what we call democracy or any form of leadership to be able to achieve set goals. And you have to have a team that is willing to go with you. Now, the head might be good, but the body might be equally rotten, or the body is good and the head is rotten. How do we lead in those situations? So the reason I'm talking about leadership is because elections are fast approaching again in Edo State, and we're already pitching our tents with people we think are fit enough to lead us to the El Dorado or to the promised land, to the Canaan of our visions and our dream. I say no. Look for that quality, first of all, within you. What can you do for your own state rather than what somebody else will do for you and your state? In your own little community, what conversations do you have? What discussions do you have? Who do you know in your community that can change your people, so to speak? That can challenge people to think differently from the current norms in order to move our state forward. When I was in Nigeria, I lived in Edo State Ward 6, to be precise. That's an area that cuts across Ukwe-Ogbemudia to, I think, Yoruba Street and Everins in the Yaro part of things before the Chief Erod's Palace. I think Chief Erod was a different ward. He belonged to Ward 7, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me, please. We had the Ogboni fraternity on our side. We had the Ministry of Education on our side, where we always conducted our local elections and all of that, and sometimes primaries. We also have the primary education board on our side. We have Lawyer Okeya on our side. We have Dr. Eso Ogbemudi of blessed memory on our side. We have Chief Frank Sumola Giwa Osagi on our side. The Akpatas were on our side. The Dokbayis were on our side. We had a lot of people. Chief Ebomi Orue on our side. Chief No Money No Friend on our side. So we had a lot of people on our side. A lot of famous names, a lot of big names, a lot of big wigs. I played politics amongst these people, so I learned. You know, we set up little pressure groups in different streets so we could have these honest conversations and change the status quo. This was when democracy came back in 1999. We thought we could make a difference. I was offered money, don't get me wrong. We had honest conversations with people, and I declined. You know, it was violent sometimes and all of that, but it's just what comes. It's part and parcel of our politics, which shouldn't be the case anyway. But the point I'm trying to make here is this. Ogbemudia, Dr. S. Ogbemudia, who we as kids grew up to know was one of the governors, if not the only governor, and Ali, who built Bende State. The infrastructure that Edo and Delta enjoy today was built by that man. So he had visions. He was a visionary. That was a leader. But don't forget, he did almost all of that under the military rule, where they have proper discipline. They follow edicts and all of that structure. Roads that we enjoy. Buildings in the Ring Road area, GRA, that belong to the state government, and things that would be for the benefit of the people, like theaters, was built by those people. Successive governments failed to build upon that. I lived in his ward, Ward 6. That's a big wig in the PDP. But we ensured that he never won the election because of the candidate that the PDP brought out at the time. He didn't chase us. He didn't get people to beat us up. No. He was happy for that challenge. And so many times I really wanted to meet Dr. S. Ogbemudia. I never met him, but I was unable because we had a living legend with us. Somebody who has served the country at the national level, the state level, and everywhere, and he lived not too far from us. It was a joy to have him around us, and it was also a joy to hear people, even in London when I'm gathered with people, also continue to mention his name and said he built Edo and Delta. If not for him, Edo and Delta will have no infrastructure. It's a thing of joy to hear, but successive governments have failed to capitalize on that and build more. Where am I going with this? It will make sense maybe in the next series. We have a current governor called Dr. Godwin Obaseki. I've never met him. I know some of his relatives. And I have followed for a minute, and I've seen the strides that the gentleman is taking. The building infrastructures, building on the past glory of Dr. S. Ogbemudia and all of that, changing the narrative of Edo politics. And I think what we need at this time is not a break from that, it's a continuation of that conversation of what he's doing, because it's about building infrastructures. But he can only go that far. That's what I'm coming to. He can only go that far. Without the people maintaining those structures that he's putting in place, everything will soon dilapidate. So hence my social contract between the people and between the led and the leaders. If the leader is there, has got his head right, like Obaseki is getting it right, and build those infrastructure, what if the person coming in afterwards, after him, after his tenure, decide not to go on with those infrastructures and decide to put a stop to that and they become decayed? That's what we need to stop. There is need for continuation in government. There's need for continuation for the people to understand that resources will be allocated to the right places and infrastructures will be maintained, the current infrastructures, and more will be built upon. Anyway, I'll leave this for now, this conversation for now, and I'll come back to this. Remember, this is a 6-part series. And I'm here to show up anybody. I'm here to say honest things and have honest conversations. If you see that I'm making mistakes in what I'm saying, please, let's have these conversations in the comment section. My name is Jude Speaks, the God of Jude Speaks TV, and I'm a Doman. Obaga Talk by Ise.